When I was a child growing up in Maine, one of my favorite things to do was to look for sand dollars on the seashores of Maine, because my parents told me it would bring me luck. But these shells, they're hard to find. They're covered in sand, they're difficult to see. However, over time, I got used to looking for them. I started seeing shapes and patterns, which helped me to collect them. This grew into a passion for finding things, a love for the past and archaeology. And eventually, when I started studying Egyptology, I realized that seeing with my naked eyes alone wasn't enough. Because all of a sudden, in Egypt, my beach had grown from a tiny beach in Maine to one 800 miles long, next to the Nile. And my sand dollars had grown to the size of cities. This is really what brought me to using satellite imagery. For trying to map the past, I knew that I had to see differently. Sarah Podkak is an American space archaeologist and Egyptologist who has used satellite imagery to uncover potential archaeological sites in Rome, Egypt, and the former Roman Empire. She was also the winner of the 2016 TED Prize. So I want to show you an example of how we see differently using the infrared. This is a site located in the eastern Egyptian delta called Mendes. And the site visibly appears brown. But when we use the infrared and we process it, all of a sudden, using false color, the site appears bright pink. What you are seeing are the actual chemical changes made to the landscape by the building materials and activities of the ancient Egyptians. What I want to share with you today is how we've used satellite data to find an ancient Egyptian city called Ashawi, missing for thousands of years. The site is located in the Fayum of Egypt, and the site is really important because in the Middle Kingdom there was this great renaissance for ancient Egyptian art, architecture, and religion. Egyptologists have always known the site was located somewhere near the pyramids of the two kings who built it, indicated within the red circles here, but somewhere within this massive floodplain. This area is huge. It's 4 miles by 3 miles in size. The Nile used to flow right next to the city of Ixtali, but as it shifted and changed and moved over time to the east, it covered over the city. So, how do you find a buried city in a vast landscape? Finding it randomly would be the equivalent of locating a needle in a haystack, blindfolded, wearing baseball mitts. So what we did is we used NASA topography data to map out the landscape. Very subtle changes. We started to be able to see where the Nile used to flow. But you can see in more detail, and even more interesting, this very slight raised area seen within the circle up here, which we thought could possibly be the location of the city of Ixtali. So we collaborated with Egyptian scientists to do coring work, what you see here. Now when I say coring, it's like ice coring, but instead of layers of climate change, you're looking for layers of human occupation. And 5 meters down, underneath a thick layer of mud, we found a dense layer of occupation. What this shows is that at this possible location of Ixtali, 5 meters down, we have a layer of occupation dating back to the Middle Kingdom, dating back to the exact period of time we think Ixtali is. We also found workstone, carnelian, quartz, agate, that shows that there was a jeweler's workshop here. These might not look like much, but when you think about the most common stones that were used in the Middle Kingdom, these were the stones that were used. So, I wanted to end with my favorite quote from the Middle Kingdom. It was probably written in the city of Ixtali 4,000 years ago. Sharing ideas is the greatest of all callings. There's nothing like it in the land. So as it turns out, TED was not founded in 1984 AD. Sharing ideas actually started in 1984 BC at a not lost for long city, found from above. It certainly puts finding seashells by the seashores in perspective. Thank you.